Welcome to Straight Outta Austin. This is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
And we're joined here by Uncle Staple, the founder of Staple Independent Media Expo.
Hello.
We're really excited to have you on here. I remember we had met at Wizard World, and we had a fun conversation. And I've been kind of following StapleCon for a while.
Great.
But this will be the first year that I've actually been able to attend.
Awesome.
Because I always have to work weekends. And we put in for it like months. We're getting Staple out this year. Like, I don't care what I have to do. I have to just call in sick. I'm going. So I'm really excited for it.
Cool, man. Well, I'm glad you'll finally make it out, and it'll be this year's our 10th annual.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's a big milestone. Big milestone.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been going on for so long. What would you say? Like, how has it changed since you first started it?
I think it's become like more diverse in terms of like content and programming, in terms of the kind of exhibitors that are there, and it's also just grown. I mean, we started with like 30 exhibitors or 35 exhibitors, and now there's over 150.
Oh wow!
So it went from like, I don't know, 24 tables or something at the Elks Lodge to now 83 8-foot tables over at the Marquesa. So
yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it just really shows that there's that audience for that, because you have all these big conventions, and it's like there's a little section for comics, and everything else is like movies and TV. So
I get, like Wizard World calls their show here Austin Comic Con, but comics are the least part of what goes on there. So I take umbrage to that.
Yeah, it's like comics with an asterisk. It's like based off of comic characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's almost kind of like how San Diego is nowadays.
Oh,
where
yeah,
you talk to people that were there
yeah.
like years ago, and like, yeah, it was like a comic convention. Now it's just like a place for TV shows to debut their new series or movies and stuff like that.
Right, like they need some help.
Yeah. So now it's just kind of become like a big like weekend for trailers and sneak peeks,
pretty much.
And more like media related rather than like comics.
Yeah, comics. So it's like if you find a comic there, it's by accident.
Yeah.
You tripped over it on your way to the bathroom or something. Stuck to your shoe.
Hey,
that's probably a good. Actually, that's not a bad way to probably distribute some comics that they're just like chew gum and stick it to it and throw them on the floor, and then people they'll be stuck to people's shoes.
That would be pretty nice. They get home. What is this? Oh, this is a really good read.
Exactly.
Well,
that's when you're self-publishing and stuff, you got to think outside the box, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, you got to think outside the gum wrapper.
Speaking of that, when we last spoke, you said that you used to, or do you still self-publish comics?
I like to say that I do. Yeah. Well, I didn't actually manage to do one this year. Turns out organizing a comic book convention is a lot. Occupies a lot more of my time than actually producing a comic book did. So we didn't actually manage to get a new comic out this year. And the artist I work with, actually, he's over this past year kind of gone back to painting. He went to art school. He's a painter, and so he's gotten back into painting, and he's had a lot of good success with that. So he's actually going to be representing us at the show. Hello, newcomer,
and just trickled in,
and he'll have the comics that we've produced so far, plus some of his prints and stuff that he's made. He'll have some framed G-clay prints and some cheap prints and some screen prints he's made of his paintings, which are all really cool. His name's David Lamplugh. That's Lamplugh. It's Welsh.
Oh, okay.
And he's
explains it.
I was here trying to figure it out.
Like me, he's a pale red-haired fellow, and so he's been doing this series of paintings where he takes figures from old like Japanese Edo era, feudal era prints. There's a tradition of printmaking in Edo era Japan, to this day, and takes those kind of figures of a samurai or a geisha or something, and then puts an animal head on it.
Oh, nice.
They say so it's like a samurai tiger or
That's awesome.
a geisha Boston Terrier, that sort of thing. And he's actually what he's done a lot is people see it and it's very appealing, and so. They want their pets, so he does a lot of commissions to make my wiener dog a samurai or something like that. And that's been going well for him. So he'll have a lot of that stuff at the show at our table, our half a table.
It's fantastic. Has he done any of what the Staple Gator has ahead?
He has not. I should get him to do that, except I don't want to pay him.
He won't do it out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah, it's art. People art is skilled labor, so
it's time consuming.
It's I don't want to but it is, and a lot of people like over the years, people have for a while there it was like people thought, hey, if I get my movie script made into a comic book, it'll help me sell my movie script. There was kind of a thing like that.
Yeah.
And, and as I know a lot of artists, people would come up to me and say, hey, you know any artists that would like to draw this comic book? I'm like, sure, but you have to pay them.
Yeah.
They're like, no. I'm gonna if I sell this movie script and then make this movie, then I'll pay them. Like, can we swear here? Okay.
Yes.
Fuck you. Pay me. Yeah. You don't like go to plumbers like, hey, I've got this house with broken plumbing that I need to sell. If you fix the plumbing and then I sell the house, I'll pay you. It's like, no. You don't do that.
Yeah, like you can't pay your rent on IOUs,
No, man.
I've tried.
No, man.
It doesn't work. I get really angry about that. But yeah, I was going to ask about, you have some guests. You have, I think his name is Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah, Chip Zdarsky. He's the artist on Sex Criminals, which was written by Matt Fraction. And, that's right after we booked Chip that got named Time Magazine's #1 comic of 2013. Nice. So I was like, I'm glad we squeaked him in there before that
very cool.
had him commit. But no, Chip's great. I've actually been a fan of his for a really long time. But since he used to do this web comic called Prison Funnies.
Oh, okay.
It was like 3-panel comic strip set in prison. So,
that was a fun place to have a
sort of,
setting.
really kid-friendly humor.
I can imagine.
Orange is the new black.
I want a shank for Christmas.
It's pretty good. And then he had a comic out called Monster Cops. It was 3 monsters who were cops.
Oh, nice.
It was like a Wolfman, a Dracula, and a Frankenstein that are cop buddies.
Oh, okay. Sounds like APD.
It's funny, yeah. A little bit.
Mainly when you're jaywalking.
Yeah.
No
and
refuse
plus he's a hilarious dude. So.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. I saw an interview that he did with Danny Danger from Weird Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to that, because I know he's doing a Q&A. So, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, that's part of the program. We usually get a couple of big comic book related guests in that our sponsors bring in, and then what we have them do, just like a Q&A session, then it will have a moderator there, a little kind of, and they'll just talk for an hour, and the audience can ask them some questions and stuff about whatever they want, I guess.
I know last year you had I think it was like a web TV panel.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing something similar to that this year, or was that just?
Not specifically web TV this year. We had actually, no. We've done that a couple of years, but we always try to mix up the programming from year to year. We have had, I guess last year as well, we had a panel of podcasters, so a lot of local specifically geek podcasters. Got up and talked about that stuff. Now this year we have a digital painting tutorial, So there's a guy, our local artist, Jay Hausa.
Yeah, he's really awesome.
Yeah, he's got some really cool stuff. He's really good artist. He did, I don't know if you've seen it, he did a sketch of me.
Oh, yeah, with the Staple Gator thing?
Yeah, with a little Staple Gator imp on my shoulder. And so, yeah, he's going to do like an hour-long tutorial where he basically shows you how to go from pencils to a finished piece of digital art.
Oh, nice.
And all the tricks of the trade, which he's a very skilled person. He has those down. So, and then, also another question and answer session with Francesco Francavilla, who's our other big.
No way, for real?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I think I had heard that, but I think I got that confused with I think he had made a commitment to either Portland or NO Comic Con for Wizard World.
I know. Yeah, we had booked him by Wizard World, so it might have been on the bookmarks I was handing out at Wizard World.
Okay, that's probably what it was.
And then he actually rendered our Staple Gator this year. We have, for those of you not familiar, we have a mascot for the show, which is a stapler-headed creature that's taken many incarnations. You get a different artist to do it every year, usually one of our guests. And Francesco was kind enough to draw this really awesome creepy Staple Gator that needs to see a dentist, and it's pretty awesome. So and then we put that on our promotional materials, and I did have that by Wizard World, so we're handing that stuff out. But we're pretty excited to get him. He has like some like retailers thing he has to do like the day before, so he's not actually getting it until Saturday afternoon. So
okay.
But then we'll have him all weekend after that, and we'll make good use of him.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
I also heard from people that know him. I've never met him, but I know people, some other artists that have met him and say he's also just a card, just a hilarious dude.
Oh, really?
Just a jokester.
He's got some pretty funny Twitter rants every now and again. I haven't been on Twitter as much as I feel I should lately, but he started following me out of nowhere, and I forget which comics he was drawing, but I had just been introduced to him like since October, and then I saw this dude following me, and I was like, that's a really cool sounding name. It kind of sounds like my uncle's name. His name's Francisco, so I was like, Francesco.
Oh, okay.
It just sounds more. It just sounds like an Italian version of a Spanish name.
Yeah. Well, he is actually originally from Italy. He is an Italian dude.
Oh, really?
He lives in the States now, but his art's awesome.
I love it.
It's great. Well, he's got two or three books he's working on already. He's got his creator-owned book on Dark Horse called The Black Beetle, which if you haven't read, you really need to go out and check that out. It's awesome, sort of vintage pulp, nor like 1930s kind of superhero, sort of like The Shadow or something. This character called the Black Beetle, and that one, the art's gorgeous. And then what's really cool about it to me is the Black Beetle never reveals his secret identity, or in the first trade anyway. Never shows who he really is behind the man. And then he's also drawing Afterlife with Archie, which is a zombie book set in the Archie universe.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think Archie sounds a lot more interesting as a zombie.
Yeah.
I was curious about the Staple Gator. Like, who came up with that concept?
So that happened the first year or so, 2005. There was an artist named Chris Moreno. He's still alive. He's fine. I saw he came back and visited us a couple years ago. He looked good.
Still breathing.
Still kicking. And he had some comics he was working on. He was an artist on a comic at the kind of very indie comic called Dracula versus King Arthur. Nice. It's actually a really good book. And then he we got in touch and negotiated to get him a free table at the show, and in exchange he was going to give me a piece of artwork. Now I didn't know what this was going to be. I was like, okay, fine. And then he came through. His dad lived here at the time, so he came through town to visit, and he gave me this picture is like this little irascible dude like holding some art supplies. Just a nice little line drawing, and he's got a stapler for a head, and he's kind of like mischievous look in his eye. I was like, "That's fucking fantastic, man!"
Yeah.
And so we actually, and then the name actually came. We had just held a contest.
Oh, okay.
Name this, and Staplegator won.
It's very catchy, you know.
Yeah, and then and since then, like Christian Donaldson has drawn it, Eric Powell has drawn it, Guy Davis, Stan Sakai, just fucking like who's who of artists have rendered this thing, which is really satisfying for me. It's really
I can imagine.
I unleashed this shit in the world.
You just have like a mural on your wall at home. And just,
I do actually. Well, I have the originals of a few of them. Actually, like Stan Sakai sent me the actual original inks that he did, and then I have the original like Chris did, and then every year we get a poster made, of course, and I've got 9 of those in a spot for a 10th marked out. So
has anybody ever cosplayed as the Staplegator?
No one's cosplayed at that. So if anybody out there listening wants to cosplay Staplegator, you'll get a prize. I don't know what it will be, but it'll be good. It'll be worth your while.
Be a stapler.
There was a girl that made some Staplegator plushies one year,
nice.
so it was cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and one of the guys on our team, Matt Hurst, our social media coordinator, referred to it as the open source mascot, because it's kind of encourage anybody who wants to take a whack at drawing it,
cool.
And just put it out there, and then if they send it to us, we'll put it on the Tumblr and on the website and stuff like that. In fact, since the first show, I've been maintaining a sketchbook. That a lot of people have themed sketchbooks they take to conventions and get people to draw in, and I have a Staplegator sketchbook.
Oh, nice.
That I've been collecting. I have one blank page in it that's going to be filled this year.
Awesome.
I have an idea of who's going to do it, but yeah.
Is it a secret or?
They're pretty well.
It's gonna flip
until they'll think, you busy? Hey kid, get crayon here drawing this. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see.
That's really cool. Yeah, I wanted to ask about the indie game developers. I think you have a panel for them as well. Yeah,
we've done an indie game design panel last year, but it was like just all sort of tabletop games,
okay.
This year is the first time we've actually featured digital games, computer games, and we have the creative director of Stoic Studios, who created the Banner Saga, is going to be on the panel. And if you don't know what the Banner Saga is, then what is your problem?
I don't know.
Get your head out of your ass. Because it's awesome. But it's awesome. It's a tactical RPG, kind of an old school style of gameplay, where there's role-playing elements and then tactical combat elements. There's sort of grid-based, like chess piece. You have these, and it's all about Vikings. So you have these Vikings, and they fight on this. It's sort of turn-based thing, and it's what's really unusual about the whole game is cell animated. It's like cell shaded, and
nice.
It's just absolutely beautiful. They kind of patterned it after like Snow White or some old Disney movie, so it's just really gorgeous. And then it's 3 guys from Austin or used to work for BioWare. When it closed down, they were looking for something to do, and so they had this idea for a game, so they kickstarted it, and they're just trying to get $100,000 to make this game, and they wound up getting over $700,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, so because they had a great concept, and they had a track record in the gaming industry. People knew who these guys were, and that helps on Kickstarter.
Yeah, especially if they come from BioWare.
Yeah.
Like Mass Effect? Oh my god.
Yeah, they had worked on all that stuff, and Oh, you motherfuckers are gonna get me sick. You're all three y'all coughing in here.
No.
I've got a convention to run this weekend. I cannot be sick.
You won't make it out of this podcast.
I'll volunteer if I have to.
No, I'm actually, for me, it's allergies. But
Okay.
I can't speak for them, though.
I just have an itch in my throat.
And I'm allergic to him, so.
Fair enough. So they get all this money, and they were like, "Well, what we could do all this money?" So they want to. It took them longer to release because they wound up putting features back in that they had left out initially, and then they took 100,000 of their extra money. It's just nice to have extra $100,000.
$100K.
And they went to California and hired a composer and a live orchestra to do the soundtrack.
That's
so
awesome.
it looked great. It sounds great. Actually, my buddy downloaded it. It's a download only game, so it was like $20-$25 off Steam or whatever. And my buddy downloaded it, and he's like, "You want to check it out?" I was like, "Sure." So I sat down, and I was like, after 10 minutes, I was like, "I have to stop right now. I have stuff I have to do. I can't be doing this. This game is good looking, and I will be sitting here all night. Aren't you cooking? Let's eat." So. So that's awesome. So Alex Thomas, who's the creative director on the game, he's going to be on the panel, and then we have just added a couple guys from Binary Solo. They're also local dudes. They do like mainly app development, but then they also do this kind of fun like roadshow thing. This web TV show where they have this van. They call it the it's just hard to say actually, the Indie Game Jam Van. And they drive around the country, and they'll drive to go visit another indie game developer, and while they're on their way there, they create a game in the style of that person they're going to hang out
awesome.
with.
Pretty cool.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's
pretty dope.
So they kind of bring together the whole indie game dev community, and so one or two of those guys, they haven't really told me this happened like this week, so they haven't worked all the deets out yet. Depends on how many microphones I can get.
Right. Like, where'd all the microphones go after this podcast?
And then they're going to be out there, and then Matt Uvari, who works for Part-Time Evil, is another local app developer. Is going to be there. Old friend of mine, Aaron De Orive, who he made a tabletop RPG called Shard, and he'll be on it. And Robert Garza with Terranova Games, and they made a tabletop card game, which they also kickstarted. So I think Kickstarter's been huge for a while, but it's really starting to influence the gaming industry and giving access to all these indie game developers to be able to make a product without going through some big company.
With the big name company that's going to put tons of restrictions on them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I think 4 or 5 of the people that are on this panel have run successful Kickstarter, so
Very cool.
So it's certainly going to be a topic that they're going to talk about. And that one's going to be, that's Sunday afternoon. By the way, the Stable Independent Media Expo is March 1st and 2nd this weekend at the Marquesa Holland Theater in Middle Fiskville Road. It's over there between I-35 and Highland Mall and the Lincoln Village Shopping Center area over there. The game development panels on the Sunday afternoon of the show. It's the very last panel we're going to have, and I scheduled it that way on purpose because I'm sure these guys are talkers and they'll probably go over. I didn't want them creeping into somebody else's panel.
Nice.
So we're going to let them babble on as long as they want to. So
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
it'll be tight. And then let's see. What have I not talked about?
Well, now that we got all that out of it, let's go ahead and start the interview.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing we forgot to hit record after all that.
Oh, shit.
There's the web comic panel as well.
Yeah, on Saturday, 1:30, we got a bunch of webcomics artists, 4 of them, precisely. They're doing a panel, a good theme to. We've had just sort of general webcomics panels before. We wanted to give this one a little more focus. They're going to be specifically talking about making and marketing webcomics. It's going to be helping people who want to learn how to do a webcomic and how to, make money off it, I guess. Do it, and all these people do that. So it's Monica Gallagher, Baltimore, and she's got a really successful webcomic. Ken and James and Jeremy the artist are local guys who both do webcomics. And Jason Pollan's out of Houston. He does a fun webcomic called Robbie and Bobby. I almost put him on the all ages comics panel because his webcomic could be all ages. So it's suitable for children, I think.
I was going to say,
until you saw it, you're like, good catch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have been on either one of those, I think, but I had already filled the all ages panel by the time he actually emailed me back. Thanks, Jason.
I know that game.
But yeah, Sunday is going to have a lot of stuff that's good for kids. So like we do have the all ages panel. Got Rob Harrell on that, who has a book out on Top Shelf. I actually met him at Wizard World this year, so Wizard World's not completely useless. But he's a local guy, but he's been a cartoonist for a long time. But this is his first complete published graphic novel, and on Top Shelf, which is a very prestigious indie publishing company. Yeah, they've been coming out stable for a long time, and Rob's was already going to be there with them. I was like, dude, you get this awesome book, which has quotes on the back from Jeff Smith and Neil Gaiman and Publishers Weekly, and he's it's been getting a lot of acclaim. It's called Monster on the Hill. Go check it out. It's it's a really fun. Always, unlike a lot of comics on the shelf these days, you could buy that, give it to your nephew. You don't have to worry about your sister getting mad at you for that sort of thing. It's a good story too. It's like kind of a pseudo Victorian England. Every little town has its own monster that rampages and destroys the town, but is also a tourist attraction. People want to come see the monster, right?
That's pretty awesome. The monster destroy our town.
Yeah, it's get exciting or whatever, except there's this one town where their monster is all depressed, and he hasn't rampaged, and he's not helping the local economy. So the quest is to cheer him up enough to trash some stuff.
Come on, destroy the town.
Come on, why don't you? I don't want it.
Wanting destruction. Come on.
I'm playing this new indie game. It's really awesome.
And then Paul Benjamin, an old buddy of mine and one of my gaming buddies, actually, is going to be on that panel. But cool. He has a long and storied comics career. He used to be an editor at Humanoids, and he's also published stuff in the Marvel Adventures line.
Oh, nice.
He's been a writer on Marvel Adventures, Hulk, and Spider-Man, and so he's incredible all ages artist. Andy Hirsch, who's out of Dallas, is the current artist on the Garfield comic and a contributor to the Adventure Time comic.
Oh, nice.
And then Jessie Jordan is a self-published artist out of Houston, kind of an up-and-coming girl, and she's got a couple books. One is all ages and one isn't. So to another person that could have been on either panel there. So
I know which book I'll be reading.
but yeah, the other thing that kids are gonna. This was a new thing, and I'm really excited about it. Megan Rosales is a girl I've known for a long time since I started Staple. She was publishing her little mini comics back then. She was had a webcomic and was a cartoonist, and she went on and she became a teacher for a while, and she actually taught a class to kids and how to make comics. It was like a part of her thing that she did. Now she runs a very successful nail salon. So
that works. There's some crossover,
One thing she's told me is that actually learning how to draw those tiny little mini comics, because like when she does like arty nails where she sort of paints things on people's fingers, and she's like, drawing those tiny mini comics all those years kind of helped me get the skill to do that. So. But anyway, what she's gonna do, she's gonna be set up in the lobby all day on Sunday with a bunch of crafts products, and calling it the Kids Comics Corner. And so kids can come up, and she'll show them how to make a comic book, how to make their own comic book and kind of guide them through the process. It's very casual, just sit down and make some stuff, and then they get to keep it, take it home.
Nice.
Very cool.
I'm going to have to borrow a kid. I want to do
Bar kid. Yeah.
You can borrow mine for the day.
Just put on a propeller hat.
Yeah, right. I want to learn how to make comics.
She'll teach us.
Yes. No, I'm super excited. I was already excited, but I'm that much more excited now.
Well, awesome. That's why I'm here. I bring the excitement.
I was actually like imagining. I was imagining like when you're saying, she draws the designs with the fingers. Like she could actually do like a panel, so someone could have like a little comic on their fingernails.
Well, you could get a 10-panel comic, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of. I couldn't read it.
Yeah, right. It's like it's the best comic ever, but no one will ever read it.
No one will read it. I don't know. She actually got during the whole. I don't want to get like political on your show, but during the whole like Wendy Davis thing, she was trying to raise money, so she did Wendy Davis fingernails at her salon.
Oh yeah.
They got like so much buzz that Rachel Maddow actually talked about it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
She was like, "This girl made Wendy Davis nails in Austin. That's cool." So that's my terrible Rachel Maddow impression. I really worked on that one.
I don't think you need much further to go.
Yeah.
Change that up a couple options.
I like Maddow, but yeah, I really watched the news on TV.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It just bums me out. Average fantasy life.
No, I can definitely relate. But I was gonna say, I was going back to the webcomic panel. Like, and it's really refreshing because it seems like there are so few comics geared towards kids nowadays. It's kind of like good for people that are our age, where it's like comics have grown up like with us, but with like the new generation of comic book readers, they don't really have that opportunity. I mean, there's some that are out there, as far as mainstream.
That's not. You're right. There's not a lot being produced specifically for kids, or like not specifically for kids, but that it's even suitable for kids that you could get. That's just being produced that you could also give a kid. Like when I was a kid growing up, there was a comics code, so they all had to be clean, unless you get like the dirty ones from the head shop or something like that. But hey, Nether. I don't want to remember that.
Gotta go to the room behind the beads and all that.
Yeah.
Or like the whole Spectre controversy back in the day.
Yeah, all that stuff. And there's some good books about that stuff. That jerk. Anyway, but now and I grew up. I was reading comics when I was 5-6 years old. Yeah. And there's not a lot of stuff you can give a kid. You have to really search. You have to dig to find stuff you can give a kid that young. Which is a shame because a few years ago at Staple, with this guy down, he'd made a documentary called the Comic Book Literacy Documentary. And you can still find, if you Google Comic Book Literacy Documentary, you can find it. You can probably buy a copy of it, or it's just worth watching. Mm-hmm. We actually it's the only time we ever screened a film there, and it was short. It's like 70 minutes, so it was short. And then we screened it, and then these guys did a panel. And James O'Barr was down here that year, and he was actually in that movie. He's one of the people they talked to in the film. He's the guy that made it out of Dallas, so he had access to a lot of the guys out there. Basically, it talks about how if you read comics when you're a kid, you're much more likely to be literate when you're an adult.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yes.
And
I win.
And schools are opening up. Teachers like to have comics in the classroom. Librarians like to have them in the library because kids will actually read. If you give them a comic, they will actually read that. They won't read a wall of text.
Yeah.
If their literacy skills aren't there yet, but you give them a comic book, and then they can kind of gain those literacy skills. They can learn new words from the context of the pictures that's going on. It's colorful and it's interesting to them. So, read comics, kids.
Yeah. The moral of the story is give comics to kids.
Yeah. So I want to encourage that. And just literacy in general, I think, is the most important thing you can have.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Food and stuff's nice, but
you can't eat books.
As far as brain food goes.
Yeah, you gotta be able to read what you're eating.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you want to know
nutrition facts.
Nutrition fact. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know about this. You're gonna have an easier time getting food if you can read.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if your skills just allow you to write "help me" on a sign.
you can actually read the sign that says "free food here." It's like, oh, there's food there.
Yeah.
I won't starve.
So,
all the illiterate people are like, I'm so hungry. If only there was a place with free food.
You know, because there's words everywhere.
How else will you know to stop before a car
by
runs you over?
Words everywhere. And then, you know, me personally, I read constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a weird place right now because I don't have time to read a book right now.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm always at least reading a novel or something.
Yeah.
Or a comic or novel. And, you know, if I couldn't do that, I'd go fucking nuts, man. I love it. So, there's a lot to be said. In words.
Yeah, I think kind of backtracking a little.
But don't take my word.
Always trying to find like children geared comics. To me, I think there's a healthy enough amount. But my biggest issue, you know, raising a 3-year-old, is that, like, you know, my kid likes Ninja Turtles, he likes Teen Titans, and he gets those comics almost weekly. But they're not really enriching. There's no like real like great story, and a lot of them. The stories are pretty much self-contained within a couple of issues. But then you have something kind of like Mouse Guard, which I can read to him more like a story, but I can sit back and enjoy it as its own comic, you know? And that's kind of like what I'm craving. So if I can find...
Have you heard Bone?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you go, oh, dude, that's classic. Yeah, read Bone.
Because, and the thing with Mouse Guard,
take out your mouth guard.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of adult theme. You know, it kind of explores death to an extent. Or, you know, there is death. You know, like they kill a snake in the first couple of panels. But it's not like, you know, it shows blood, but it's not gory to the fact where it's going to, like, freak my kid out.
Right.
And, you know, and he's not asking questions that he can't grasp. You know, if he asks what's going on, I can explain to him. And he'll understand to a degree, or if he doesn't, he'll just be like, "Keep reading."
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and so it's like if I can get that out of him, and he'll sit there with his hand on his chin, like,
awesome.
I know this is a book that he really likes. Because if he starts leaning away like he does with his Ninja Turtle stuff, and starts playing with Ninja Turtles instead of reading the comic, you know, it's like, okay, well now it's not doing its job.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Plus, those are gorgeous books, man. The art in those is gorgeous. Yeah, I like that. And then, it gives you something to bond over with your kid, too.
Yeah,
you know? I think that's
so
neat.
if I can find some stuff, like you mentioned, Bone, I get.
Bone's great, yeah. I mean, I read, you know, I was an adult when I read that, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
You can get kind of inexpensive, like, sort of phone book editions of that book. I don't recommend those because I found the paper in those is too thin, so you can kind of see the image that's on the other back of the paper. Because it's like it is on like almost like phone book paper. That's why it's so cheap. But go out, but you know it's been printed and reprinted so many times you can find. I think there's some like nowadays. I think they have a more not a full size comic, but I don't know what you call that, sort of a digest size version of it,
kind of like the way manga comes in.
And so I think but that's a great book. I haven't read Smith's newer thing he's doing now, so I don't know. But there's stuff out there.
But we'll find stuff like that at Staple for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so.
Good plug.
The only way to find out is to go and check it out.
Yeah, that's your best bet. You won't know if you don't go.
Right, exactly. So go get your tickets, guys. Get your tickets.
Well, there you go.
New slogan.
Yeah. But on that note, you can check Staple out at staple-austin.org. And it's going to be this weekend, which is March 1st and 2nd. So, the beginning of March, start your March off right, with StapleCon. Go there. Don't be like me and wait a long time to go.
Yeah, if you're already here in town, Friday night before the show, we're having sort of a little casual meet and greet over in Austin Books. It's something we do every year since we started this, and it's a great tradition. It's real chill. The Brad over at the store puts out a keg or two, and it's just kind of a nice warm up for the weekend. Everybody gets to say hi, and then meet new people, reacquainted with old friends. And then Saturday night at Shangri-La, we're doing a live art show. Which you've never been to a live art show. That's pretty awesome. All the comic book artists from the show come out, a lot of them, and we put up some easels, some plywood, and they draw pictures live. And then there's a DJ and a bar, and you're having a good time. And then you could buy those pictures, and all the proceeds from the sales of the art go to benefit Co-op Radio 91.7, your local community radio station.
Awesome. You know, a couple weeks ago, I actually discovered that I love punk music, and there's actually a guy who plays punk music, I think, every Monday. And I still don't know any names of it, but as I'm driving home, I'm like jamming. Like, this is really good stuff.
Awesome.
It's all stuff from like the 70s, 80s when like punk was pretty strong.
Cool.
I'm just like, where was I all this time? Yeah, I think the guy even mentioned Green Day and was just like, or even PBS Idea channel, Mike Rugnetta, where he's just kind of like, where he's trying to define punk. Is like, but when you mention Green Day, and he just kind of makes like a.
You see one teardrop from his face, like.
Because there was a whole argument about anime. Like, is a Korean developed show that's in an anime format still considered anime? Yes, but when you try to make the same argument for punk when people discuss Green Day, he's like, no.
Well, it was a guest on Co-op yesterday. Actually, I went down.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
man, I must have just missed it.
It was 3:30 to 4:30. It was on Slappy Pinch Bottom's Odd Preoccupation.
Huh.
Which is in there. I
was like, what?
That's the great thing about public radio is that you can name it whatever you want as long as it's not like curse words.
Yeah, and his show's awesome, man. I think it might be unique in the United States, as it kind of focuses on like what he calls it, like the performative spoken word. So it might be like poetry, literary readings, different kinds of performances. My improv troupe performed on there one time.
Oh, cool.
So just kind of variety of stuff. So yeah, everybody tune in to 91.7 on your FM dial. And
like a radio voice.
That's a good radio.
Yeah, yes, on there right now, and I subsequently posted on Facebook. Literally yesterday morning, we confirmed that Shannon Wheeler, the creator of Too Much Coffee Man, will be at Staple.
Oh, that's right.
It turned out he was already going to be here that weekend. So I got in touch with him and was like, hey, the convention's this weekend. He's like, what? Like, you want to be in it? Yeah. It's okay. So, yeah.
Very cool.
We're actually having to rearrange the floor plan to fit him in. But he was our very first guest at the very first Staple.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of a big reunion. It's last time I've seen him here in Austin was in 2005. I had gone out to Portland for Stumptown, which is a very similar convention out there.
Okay.
Which is big. It's big now too, because Portland and Pacific Northwest has a really thriving indie comic scene out there.
Yeah.
And Portland's a cool town. It's like Austin, but with shitty weather.
That's almost like all of Washington.
Not as good barbecue. You get some like fish, but maybe not barbecue. But a lot of beer, and yeah, Shannon was out there. Shannon was. I hope they've fixed this. Like that year, they had the after party at this guy's art studio, and there was no alcohol. And Shannon was the only person that brought alcohol, so he and I mooshed off him. But then again, it's Portland. You could barely throw a rock without hitting a neighborhood bar.
Okay.
So it was okay. We did okay.
Nice.
It's good to live in a town with lots of boozers.
Yeah. It sounds like he was probably the most popular guy at the party, right? When he walked in, hey, let's be friends.
Yeah, like a 40 in a bag. So it was kind of like, I was over the cup. We're like in the, we're classy dudes. Me and Too Much Coffee Man. We're classy dudes.
Oh, man.
I think it's at staple-austin.org or hyphen. I've been told that hyphen is correct. So.
Yeah, like I was saying, check them out on Saturday. It opens at 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. and then Sunday noon until 6 p.m. And it's at the Marchesa Hall and Theater.
Yeah. 6226 Middle Fiskville Road. We'll Google that, and then it'll get you right to their door. Tickets are $10 for one day, $15 for both days. Cheaper than Wizard World. And kids 12 and under get in free. We're also going to do a student discount. We present on Saturday only. Present a valid student ID. You can get the 2-day pass for the price of the 1-day pass. So
very cool.
Come on down, kids. You college kids need to read comics too. You're not literate enough.
I mean, you think about it. What's more? What would you rather read, a textbook or a comic book?
Come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's like $15. Like you're paying $1,000 for tuition. You can't spare $15. Come on.
Not going to be able
Call
to
your
eat my
dad.
ramen noodles.
Yeah, right.
Who would you rather influence your young impressionable mind? Your college professor or a bunch of indie artists?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So we were definitely appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thanks, man.
It's been a lot of
Good to be
fun,
here.
and yeah, I'm so looking forward to Staple.
Yay.
Oh yeah, one more thing, I forgot the you're also going to do I think you're saying they're going to be doing screen printing the Staple T-shirts.
Right, yeah. So last year I got hooked up with these guys, local screen printing shop called Mind's Eye, HDX.
I have them on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Bill fucking Murray shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of really good work. They should be pulling me a couple of shirts right now. I'm gonna head by their shop right after this and see what's up. But because I'm gonna be on TV tomorrow, so I'm gonna wear the new shirt.
Excellent.
Anyway, they have their rig is they can break it down and set it up, and so they're going to take it, and they did this last year, and they're going to set it up in the lobby, so you can watch them pull your shirt right in front of your eyes, print it there, and so it'll be fresh, hot, literally hot off the press. Because have you ever seen everybody screen print? You put the ink down, and then you run it through this sort of conveyor belt heater thing that dries the ink out. So you get it as all toasty warm, like out of the dryer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cue Homer Simpson.
It's like he was wearing it. It feels so warm.
Staple Gator, you're so warm.
Just curl up in a ball. I love you, Staple Gator.
Yeah, actually, I know they squeezed into Comic-Con on the last day last year. I was actually talking. I think her name is Jessica. Maybe
Vanessa. Maybe?
Vanessa. Okay, yeah.
Right,
Same thing.
It was a common name when I was growing up. I just went with Jessica. Vanessa. Yeah, and I forget the other guy's name, but I got both their Scott. I got both their cars, and we talked for a little bit, and then
Apparently
they had an art show the following week.
Yeah, they do little art parties in their shop that are I'm at a pretty regular schedule. I'm not sure that they're probably going to be pretty tied up through South by, because I think they're out doing a lot of promotion and ripping a lot of shirts for South by people.
Right.
But they're got a lot on the ball. I've gone through a number of screen printers in Austin since I've been making T-shirts for the last 10 years, and I've had some bad experiences, but so far it's been happy days with Mind's Eye.
Yeah, I can vouch for them. They have really nice quality shirts. That Bill Murray shirt is so comfortable. I don't even want to wear it a whole lot because I don't want to wear it down. But when I do wear it, it's like wearing silk.
Nice.
No, but they got a nice.
Is it a Toltex?
Toltex.
I mean, I know brands of shirts now. So.
Yeah, but they got a nice tight little operation off of South Lamar, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think right there where Mary Street starts.
Right behind Custom Sounds.
Yeah, Custom Sounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got a nice little operation over there. If anybody ever gets to check them out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Check them out online. MINDZAI. Mind's Eye.
Yeah.
In other words, good luck.
Go to the Staple Facebook page. We
Yeah,
have a
there
link.
you go. The link will be there on Staple, so that's the easy
Staple
way.
Right after you get your tickets.
Yeah, we don't see you there. We're gonna track you down
That's right, man.
And hit you with my Mind's Eye.
Oh,
Wow. You're freaking me out, dude.
Hypnotoad.
all right, but yeah, well, thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Cool,
and
thank you.
And we'll see you this weekend. Woohoo! And once again, go to staple-austin.org and check out StapleCon Saturday and Sunday.
Do it.
And you guys got a Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, we have a Twitter. Our Twitter is Staple.
Okay.
We kind of like
Yeah, that's right. Just at Staple.
We're
That's right.
really kind of excited we got that. And the Facebook is Staple Austin. We have Tumblr. It's Staplegator is the Tumblr, in which we post a lot of the sketches from my sketchbook and other Staplegators and art and different things that exhibitors and past have sent us, and feature different things like that. And we always try to, like, anybody who's going to be at their show. The purpose of the show is for these guys who are independent creators to connect with their audience,
right?
A potential audience. So we like, it's to promote them. So yeah, that's what we try to do through all our social media and all our web stuff is kind of get the word about, hey, check out this guy's stuff. It's going to be at the show, and that'll induce you to come buy a ticket. But it also lets you see a little preview of what you'll see there. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of people out there. You don't have to work for Marvel or DC to make a good comic book or be a good artist or make some good craft. You can just do it yourself. You're gonna have to work, but you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. With that.
Staple.
Staple.
You guys have a sign off that you do or anything like?
We do, but kind of. Well, yeah. Well, we're gonna.
Staple will suffice for now.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah. Long live the Staplegator.